Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, the Horror Boy. Welcome back to some more reviews, and today we're going to be getting to, I believe, my first review on a Japanese horror film, which is awesome because I've always wanted to get more into Japanese horror because there's just something about the way that Japanese horror films are made. They're really the only few films that I find to be creepy in style and have creepy ideas. I remember growing up, I used to read a lot of Japanese ghost stories, and dude, they're just... I just gotta say this, man. You want some real scary stuff, watch Japan's horror films, man. I'm telling you right now. These are real deal disturbing, unsettling, scary, creepy films. And also, like I said, I used to read the urban legends and stories, ghost stories growing up, and they're just scary as fuck. But today we're going to be getting to my first Japanese horror film review, which is awesome because I've always wanted to see some Japanese horror films. And in particular from this director, Takashi Miike, and that is Audition, which came out in 1999, gets a 7.2 and IMDb by, I said Takashi Miike directed the movie. And there's the two big movies that he made that I've been wanting to check out. There's this, and there's Ichi the Killer, which I have over there, which hopefully one day I can watch and give it a review as well. But this film, Audition, I was blown away by this film. Just the way that's done, man. And I really wish more horror films would just take this approach to their stories. And really what it is a very well done, slow burn horror film. With the last 15 minutes being some of the most disturbing last 15 minutes I've seen in a film. And I'm not over exaggerating that, I'm not lying about that, no, legit. The last 15-20 minutes of this movie will disturb you. It's shocking, it's crazy, and to me it's horror at its best. And definitely made me want to see more of Takashi Miike's work. I know he also did a cameo for Hostel. I know there's plenty of other films he's made as well, so hopefully one day I can check out more of his work. But yeah, Audition, first of all, I want to say this. It's hard to make horror films like this. People don't really realize that, but it's more difficult to make these longer, slower paced, slow burn and slow build horror films. It's harder to make these movies because whereas the slasher movie you can rely on gore and nudity and stuff like that, or ghost movies, it's jump scares and boo scares. Here it's what I like about these movies is like I said, they're not easy to make, and when they're made well, I really respect the dedication and hard work it took to make these movies. And it's harder because you got to be able to have that cast, you got to be able to have that those characters, you got to be able to have the script and interesting dialogue, interesting characters and direction. It's really hard to make a long, slow... It's not really a long movie. I mean, it is almost 2 hours, but it's just more of a slower paced film. And it's harder to make movies like that. But I think here it's just nailed. I think it's absolutely nailed. I think this is one of the best examples of a slow burn horror film. It's easily one of the best slow burn horror films. And I think also this was based off of a novel, which the director Takashi Miike said was pretty faithful to, except for maybe the ending was changed around a little bit. Which the ending is just amazing. I will say, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but the story is basically you have this guy who his wife passed away, and he's trying everybody's telling him that he's looking a little bit older, maybe you should try to remarry somebody, maybe try to find somebody else, so you're not like lonely or alone. And so he holds an audition. His friend tells him, just hold an audition for a movie for the lead heroine of the film, and see if you can find a new wife that way. And he holds this audition, and more and more women come in and audition for this role, and one comes in and he is attracted to her, and her name is Asami, and basically takes her out on some dates. They talk, and just he starts spiraling down this really dark rabbit hole of just lust and love and trying to find somebody, and kind of results in this crazy story that just kind of goes deeper and deeper as the film goes. And I just thought the story was really well done. First of all, it's really interesting in the way that it's directed. I love certain shots in this movie that Takashi Miike does, whether it's pan shots or still shots or just different things with the camera. I really enjoyed. I also really enjoyed the acting in this movie. I thought it was very well done. The leads, side characters, everybody was interesting. The dialogue was interesting. They made these characters really grounded and realistic, and they also put a little bit of humor in there, which is pretty cool. Because it's good to have humor and a really like down to earth serious movie like this, because it kind of brings a little bit of levity to the film. Yeah, just certain choices of lighting that I thought were creepy. And when you make lighting creepy, that's pretty commendable. It was like in Funny Games. If you can make somebody dropping some eggs suspenseful, then you're doing something right. Here it's just lighting. The way the movie has certain scenes that are just lit with red and blues and purples and very dark, shadowy looking sets, and just I really liked how this movie went from light to dark. You'd have a great looking atmosphere of just a building or something, and then you'd have this really dark, abandoned building that has boards everywhere and dark red lighting and just creepy stuff like that. I think also it has some really scary images in this movie. Which, by the way, this is an older movie, but I will say spoiler alert, because if you have not seen Audition yet, please just turn off the review, go watch it, and then come back, because it is just an experience watching this movie. Really incredible horror film, and I really don't want to spoil it for anybody, so spoiler alert for this right now. Sorry now. But you just have some creepy imagery in there. Whether it's just our character, she just sitting there in this room, and you're wondering, okay, what's going on? And Asami, she's just sitting in this room by herself, just kind of in this weird position. And at this point, you don't really know too much about the character. And she's just sitting there, and you see this bag in the background moving, and this weird, like, animalistic sounds coming from, like, you don't really know what is in this bag. It's not really, like, human sounding, it's not really, like, animal sounding, it's just weird, growling sound in this bag, and it's just like, what the fuck is that? Then she's just sitting there, and it's just this creepy atmosphere around her, just this dirty building, and she's just looking at this phone, waiting, and because she knows eventually our lead character will call her back, even though his friend tells him not to, because they don't really know anything about this girl. They can't contact anybody about her. They don't know where she is, and he tries to warn the lead guy that, this girl is a little suspicious, but the guy doesn't listen. He's in love. He's kind of blinded by love. And just that image of her sitting there, and then when the phone rings, she just has this smile on her face, and then she goes over and picks up the phone, and just creepy. Like, that scene alone is just creepy. And then, it all builds up to where he finds out that maybe she was abused as a child by her stepfather, because she has these burns on her leg, and he, basically starts finding out that maybe she was abused, and that maybe this place that he was told that she was staying at, somebody there got killed and tortured. There was body parts everywhere, and you don't really even see anything. It's just like the description of it. It's the red lighting, the way it looks, just fucking creepy. It creeped me out. And you see like a quick shot of a tongue because this person says, "Oh, well, there was an extra tongue that was on the crime scene as well," and you just see this creepy shot of a tongue on the ground wiggling, and it's a quick, to the point, split-second kind of scene, and the lead guy gets kind of creeped out by this image, and you're just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, it's so unsettling, and you're just slowly being sucked into the last 15 minutes, and it's just really, you're just on edge, trying to figure out what's going on here. What is up with this Asami girl? Is she just crazy? Is something's up with this character? And basically you found out that she was abused as a child and really had a dark childhood. You know, she was locked in a room for hours, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. Her stepfather tortured her, hated her, and you also get the idea that maybe she was abused by him. And you basically found out that she takes this, I believe, I don't know what it looks like piano string or something like that. And you basically have that right there where she strangles her stepfather, just pulls the string until his head falls off onto the piano. And that's also a creepy image as well, where our lead guy walks in and finds this person playing the piano, and the way it's lit is just creepy. But you found that she killed him, and basically she'd been luring these guys in and killing them because, you know, they're all kind of the same. Auditions to meet these women, to have sex with them. And towards the end of the movie, you kind of get shown these different images of maybe where our lead was maybe sleeping with some other people. Like there's this chick that's like his, I believe it's, I think it's secretary, and like maybe he slept with her. And then there's like one that's kind of his, what is it called? Like the housemaid, and maybe he was sleeping with her. Which is like, it's very like, you don't know what's really happening, like what's real and what's not. And the ending is kind of cool because you're wondering what really happened, you know. And in one part of it, you have him just waking up like it's a nightmare next to the Asami character, and everything's alright and they're going to propose. And then the other end, it's like, you know, Asami just torturing him. And it's one of the most intense scenes I have ever seen in a horror film. It is just really gut-wrenching. It'll make you squirm. It's just like, oh god. Because she takes these needles. Like, first of all, she paralyzes this guy. She takes these needles and puts them in different parts of his body for pain. And she even sits on the needles and puts these needles right underneath of his eyes. Not in his eyes, but underneath of his eyes. I'm like, oh my god. And then she like takes the string and like cuts off his legs. And the ending is pretty much the son comes in, finds her, gets chased. He pushes her down the stairs. She pretty much dies. And the movie ends with our lead guy looking at this body and them kind of having the memory of this conversation they had, and the movie ends. So you don't really know if it could go either way. You know, was it all a dream and he was just having this nightmare and he marries her, or is it this really happened and he was tortured and his like feet were cut off? You don't really know, and I like that. It's like a mystery ending. It's not just saying, oh, it's a dream. It's not just saying, oh, this is the ending. You don't really know. It's up to you to decide that, and I like that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just well acted, well shot, in my opinion, well paced. For this kind of a film, for a slower paced movie, it goes by really good. You're into the story. You're interested from scene one. Performances are on point. I thought the girl that played Asami did a great job in the role as the Asami character. Just a very sweet and nice woman at first, and then she just goes crazy, and I think she's just creepy because she gets this joy out of torturing this character, and it's just like really insane. There are just certain images that will creep you out. There's literally a scene where you find that what was in that bag was the tortured guy from before, and he has his fingers cut off, his tongue cut out, he's just all cut up, and Asami just pukes in this bowl and places it down, and you're going like, oh, he's not gonna eat it, is he? He's not gonna do this, is he? And he does. He just starts eating this puke. And it is just one of the most disgusting, disturbing things I've seen. It is just really, really hard to watch. But yeah, you find that out. The creepy images of the crippled up guy on the piano, or the lighting. There's a scene where our lead gets drugged and he kind of has this dream, and it's just creepy because you don't know if maybe he's having affairs with some people, or maybe he's just, you don't know. It's just creepy, and it's just the way it's done and the way it's shot and the way it's lit was just skin crawling. Yeah, it easily is one of the best horror films I've seen. I really thought Audition was great, and yeah, it's just a really solid horror film that I really don't have any problems with. It's really, really good. But anyways, guys, I'm going to give Audition probably a 9 out of 10. It's really, really good. But anyways, guys, if you have seen Audition, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. The Explorer of Horror is out. And yeah, this was an awesome horror film. But I'll see you guys later. The Explorer of Horror is out. Bye, guys.